Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today, my wife and I are spending yet another day in beautiful Mauritius. Now, this is of course our honeymoon, but what's most important is the message that I want to share with all of you guys, and that is the benefits of travel. You know, this place is absolutely fantastic. It's my first time here in Mauritius. However, it's not my first time traveling to an exotic island or a place that's outside of my comfort zone. You see, traveling is so important to your psyche and your professional and personal development. It's why I always recommend, if you're going to invest in a number of things like your own knowledge and your own personal and mental improvement in your mindset. The other thing is I would suggest and recommend that you invest in travel because it has some incredible personal development benefits. For example, when you travel, you're literally going outside of your comfort zone, outside of your sphere in your environment. You know, when I stay stuck in a specific environment, I get into this rut, whether it's a rut with my mindset or a rut with my skills. And traveling outside of my comfort zone literally allows me to expand my consciousness, expand, my idea and my capabilities, and expand my sense of what I'm capable of. Now, the other benefit I like about travel is that it allows me to put the world in perspective. You know, when you travel, you're getting away from the things that you might take for granted, like access to healthy foods, high-speed internet, communication without a language barrier, hot water, air conditioning in some cases. And when you get outside of your comfort zone and you're able to experience these things, again, it puts things in perspective that you're probably taking for granted. So that's another benefit of traveling, being able to understand and kind of expand your consciousness with your appreciation of where you are and where you come from. You know, as someone who comes from a first world country in South Florida, I've traveled to so many different places that I once never thought was possible. Once I turned 18 and when I graduated from university, I lived for a couple of months in Southern California. And then later in 2012, I was working and traveling south of the border in Mexico. I also spent a year or two after that, I spent some time in Sydney, Australia, traveling frequently to Fiji, Vanuatu, New Caledonia, New Zealand. And over the last 3 years, I've traveled frequently to Southeast Asia, Doha, other places in the Middle East, Paris, Ireland, other places in Europe. And right now, I live with my wife in Australia, and I travel frequently throughout the US. So traveling, for me, it's absolutely incredible. Now, I don't say any of this to impress you. I say it to impress upon you the fact that when you travel, you are going to achieve some incredible things that will end up expanding your consciousness and at the end of the day, add so much benefit and value to your life. So make sure that you take some time to invest in traveling. Now, here are some really cool tips from my experience. One, book early. Make sure that you're able to book your accommodation and book your travel early, because when you do that, you're going to be taking advantage. If you do this right, you're going to be taking advantage of some incredible discounts that you wouldn't be able to have access to if you're just urgently booking a trip for the next couple of months. So booking early is absolutely important. The other thing I also want to say with benefits of travel is that when you become a traveled individual, people will appreciate you a lot more. You'll have a global perspective of not just where you're from, but the countries and the regions around you. So I hope you've learned a couple of lessons from this. I hope this has inspired you to book your next trip. Make sure, again, that you're booking early and you're using some long-term perspective. Start setting some travel goals. If you want to go somewhere in the next 8 months, 12 months, 24 months, make sure that you have this long-term perspective when you book your travel and set some goals and you'll be hitting them. Remember, success leaves clues, and take care of yourself.